All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to All Things Ash. I'm going to do a reading for my Leos. I was going to split it up by elements and do all fire signs, all water signs, earth signs, air signs, etc. But I'm being called to do individual signs right now, so I don't know how long this will take me. Bear with me. Um, Probably going to keep this one just Leo and do the other separate. So we're going to start off with, it's not going to be too long of a reading. I just want to do a general tap in for the weekend ahead. I know that we are in a retrograde right now, but for some reason, things don't feel as retrogrady as they normally do. It's definitely heavy energy for sure, but something going on the love front that Spirit is really just drawing me to touch on. So we're going to see. And because I myself am a Leo, we're going to start with my sign in honor of my fellow Leos. So, where are we at right now with the Leo gang? Anything else we need to know, Spirit? Oh, that was a lot. Okay. Let's stop right here. Interesting. I'm probably not even going to touch the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, Leos, we have the Four of Pentacles, Three of Cups, okay, the Chariot in reverse, Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So, first things first, I want to touch on our money, our pockets. Things may be a little tight right now. I'm seeing an element of um, hmm, just trying to balance your coins and not hold on too tight because you gotta give it to receive it. I wanna tell you that with this Three of Cups following, that this energy is not going to last for very long. I think it's just a matter of patience and being strategic and being, what's the word I'm looking for? Using your discernment when it comes to your pockets and your finances, but know that there is a celebration coming. Your cups are going to be filled very soon. I will say to keep an eye out for some sort of collaboration because the Three of Cups generally represents some sort of collaboration among people. It doesn't necessarily have to be feminine energy, but it very much can be. Um, know that there's an element of fertility here with the pumpkins right here on the foreground. With the Chariot in reverse, though, I will say there's definitely, okay, so upright, right? You got, just take a look at it upright right quick. So you've got the contrast of the two colors right here. The Chariot does not come to play. The Chariot is very, very much in his element, in its element. Um, I mean, you've got to take a look at everything that's represented here. You've got the wings right here, you've got the stars and the drapery above them, this crown with the big star right here. You've got the moons right here. Like it's just adorned, right? But also um armored. Armored. So anointed but armored. And I think that that's something that is there's something to be said for that when it comes in the reverse, that something is out of balance here. And so, yes, you have this coming, and there's going to be, fulfillment coming and possibly some sort of collaboration. But you got to balance some things out. You gotta really take the time to, again, the word that I'm getting is discernment. Take the time to get organized, get shit in order, so that you can come correct and come through, like you're supposed to, like the boss that you're supposed to. with clarity, with dignity, with pride, with not even necessarily pride because it's not we're not dealing with the strength card here, right? But with confidence, with assurance, because when it's in reverse, things are not balanced. You've got the contrast here that's out of whack right now. Your wings are upside down right now, and that's okay. And obviously, you're concerned about it because the Nine of Wands right here, first of all, Wands is fire, fire, passion. Um, Fire can be healing, it can be nurturing, it can be warming and soothing and bring life and give life. It is life. And that speaks very much to us being Leos. However, fire can also burn. Fire is also damaging. It can destruct a lot. It can melt a lot. With your fire being in a state of caution, in a state of maybe concern, wary, you're looking over your shoulder, like it makes sense because you know that things are not in order. You can feel that things are not in order, especially when you start off the reading with the Four of Pentacles right here, like maybe you're clutching on too tight to something financially. Maybe you're not investing in the right ways, and maybe you just need to reorganize and readjust the way that things are going, or take a step back and really look at how everything comes into play, how all the different elements, because sometimes this is not just a collaboration, sometimes it's just different elements coming together. So how do all of these things come into play that are leading you to your imbalance, that are causing this concern right here? So then you've got your Ace of Pentacles, which is exactly what you want. It seems as if it's coming out of nowhere. You've got this big giant coin, to make up for these smaller ones right here that you've been clutching onto so tightly. And this one is going to be exactly what you need. It's being handed to you out of thin air. And then in the background, you've got the lush green right here with the roses or the flowers, whatever flowers you want to decide they are. I obviously defaulted to roses, but you've got the flowers um, just lush within the vines and the open doorway, to a new land beyond. And you still got lush land right here, but there's more back there to be discovered. And this is gonna get you there. But it's coming in slow. It's not coming in as fast as we want it to, I'm not gonna lie. And that's hard. Ooh, that's so hard. We gonna get I'm not gonna do the bottom of the deck for this one. I'm being called to anyway to draw oracle cards. I'm gonna do two different decks. I'm gonna do so the first deck that we worked with was the traditional Rider-Waite. The first oracle deck that I'm going to be working with is called the African Goddess Rising by Abiola Abrams. I love this deck. It's so beautiful and so colorful. Oh, well, that was fast. Okay. Spirit, what do my Leos need to know going forward? And interestingly enough, as I okay, um, as I followed the reading, I forgot that this was supposed to be about love, right? So take it as it applies. If it's not resonating with love for you, then that's fine. Um, but if it does make sense within your love life, within your romance connections and whatnot, then obviously take what works, and what doesn't, leave it for somebody else. Anything else, Spirit, that we need to know for the Leo gang going into this weekend? Oh, thank you. Okay, we're just going to leave it at that. All right, this one that fell, I'm going to leave that to the side. So there was okay, this one. So first we have the Seven Sisters, creativity. I mean, like, really take a look at that detail, though. I hope you guys can see that. Mm, There you go. Okay. Um, we then had Tituba feeling safe. This one is gorgeous. I mean, they all are, but I love this one specifically. Mame Kumba Bang, speak up. uh, I'm gonna say something on that in a little bit. Oshun, fearless love. And the one that fell on the floor was Aunt Nancy, betrayal. So, off bat, just from what I'm channeling, Leo's. Okay, Leos, I'm gonna speak on something because I understand that there's a commonality here, and I'm going to do my best to keep my my personal out of it. So, but also speak from experience because I've noticed that there's just something going on within within the love that we've been allowing ourselves to receive. As Leos, we're very prideful, right? But we have very big hearts. And so people tend to take that for granted. And people, are so enamored by the look and the beauty and the idea of the Leo and how regal and royal it is and so powerful and wonderful to look at. But heaven forbid they overstep and you roar at them because you're letting them know, hey, you got too close, or hey, you crossed the line, or hey, you fucked up. We cuss here. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. We grown here. Yeah, like heaven forbid you provoke the lion and we roar and all of a sudden it's a problem. Then all of a sudden we're vicious. And so what I want to tap on here with these cards is this level this level of creativity that's needed right here, right? The Seven Sisters. So I recently got this card in one of my own personal readings, and it speaks on the idea that the Seven Sisters were sisters from New Orleans that were well known within magic and in the community, and creativity is their card. But it was rumored that the Seven Sisters were possibly one sister who shapeshift into all seven of them rather than seven individual sisters. And so there's a level of creativity here that is needed to embrace the different aspects of yourself, the different levels of you, the past you versus the current you versus the future you versus the you that lived a very specific moment in time versus the you that lived another moment in time that didn't seem like these two moments would coexist within the same life, for one human being, but somehow they did at different points of your life. You were different versions of you. Remember those aspects of you and take that creativity to create your sense of feeling safe, to create your sanctuary. Because ultimately, I don't know how well you can see the detail, but she's sitting in this, Tatuba is sitting in this lush garden of just green and flowers, and she's holding herself, but she's wearing this beautiful, looks like either blue or emerald silky gown, and she's just glowing. And while she's definitely in a state of slight protection, you can see that she's maybe starting to let her guard down a little bit. She's starting to feel soft and her feminine, and like she can relax a little bit. Her arms maybe aren't as high as they would have been. Her feet look, the way that her legs are dangling aren't rigid. They seem to just kind of fall. And I want to remind my fellow Leos to create our safe space, to create our sanctuary, to look to nature to do that. Definitely Use the same creativity that you use to create the different versions of yourself that needed to get through certain moments of life. Use that same creativity to create your sanctuary and speak up. This one says speak up. Speak up. Set your boundaries. Do not let people cross the line. Do not let them push you or test you. When they do, speak up. When people have the nerve to be rude to you, to question you, to say things that you don't understand where they have the audacity from, or they're just committed to misunderstanding you, whatever the case may be. Even if someone seems to come across as with good intention, or they mean well, people can still cross the line. So speak up when they do. Like right here, she's got in the in the background here, she's got all these fists being raised behind her, different colors, and it's indicative of the community behind her. Like, power to her. You can't see their faces, but you can see their fist, and you can see the pick in her hair has a fist as well. Like, she's standing in her power. She's standing in her water, her ocean with stability. Like, she's got this tray of beautiful fresh food just floating in front of her in the ocean. And she's standing half on the shore, half in the water with confidence, balanced, because she chose to speak up. She chose to activate her throat chakra. Your throat chakra is blue. Speak up. Let it be known, and the right people will support you when necessary. And those who don't necessarily belong there. The other thing to keep into account is mm, I'm gonna come back to this card in just a moment. This card that fell on the floor, um, Aunt Nancy, betrayal. For some of you, that's all I need to say. For some of you, that you just already know. You automatically know what this is about. I don't even need to ask for details on this. Spirit don't need to give me details on this, because you're gonna know what this is. And for those of us who know, like, that's our reading. And if you don't know, then maybe this part isn't for you. Maybe the reading isn't for you. Maybe this particular part isn't for you, but everything else resonates. But for those of you who know that there is something that happened in the foreground, something that happened in the background, right? Because this fell on the floor. So in my background, something happened in the background that led you to feeling betrayed. Something something in the past, something having to do with the webs and cobwebs and whatnot that people just had not dealt with. Maybe someone didn't deal with, and it all came crawling back up to you. Maybe the cobwebs became decoration for them, and they just got used to it. And then as soon as you came in and started moving around, to them it was natural, because it just accumulated while they were there. But to you, you start bumping into them, and all these spiders come crawling out. And unfortunately, that betrayal is just like that. Like when you least expect it, the spiders come crawling out to remind you of what needs to be cleaned up, to remind you of what once happened, to remind you that there's this icky presence still here. Like, it's not necessarily a bad card, though. And I'm gonna read from the book on this one, just to give you insight. But in regards to this betrayal that you're feeling, this very specific moment and thing that I want you to understand that it has nothing to do with you. People treat you based on where they're at in their lives. So know that regardless of this betrayal, you see how she's standing here confident, right? She's got this crystal ball in front of her. Regardless of all of that, she's embracing it. She's embodying the darkness of it. She's basically taken over. It's a dark image. It's a dark feeling. The sense of betrayal is very it invokes pain, right? It's very triggering. But she's looking further into it with her crystal ball right here. She's taking charge and she's reigning and she's got her, she's got her spider legs too. We all have a shadow side. We all have a dark side. And she's standing in that. She's channeling from that so that she can, go forward. Do what the fuck she needs to do. So, before I continue with this last part over here, let's read on this one right quick. For some of you, maybe it has to do with someone named Nancy. Maybe that name specifically rings a bell for you. Maybe it has to do with an aunt figure or a motherly figure, considering it's Aunt Nancy. Um, that may not resonate for a lot of you, maybe just a couple of you, and that's okay. But just something to keep in mind because it is name specific. It says Aunt Nancy, Shadow of Betrayal, Diaspora Akan, Temple of Shadows, Element Air. Anansi or Kwaku Anansi, the Akan trickster god and sacred clown, snuck into our global folk tales. While Gullah Geechee children heard tales of Aunt Nancy, the tricky spider woman, my Guyanese parents entertained us with Nancy stories about a witty teen spider. Interesting. A witty teen spider. Aunt Nancy's shadow guidance. Who really betrayed you? Betrayals from others mirror your betraying yourself. Betrayals from others mirror you betraying yourself. Who really betrayed you? So, before I read further, again, back to our shadow selves, temple of shadows. You got to really take accountability for what you allow in your life. If you allowed something there, it was because there was a part of you that made space for it. And it sucks because other people do stuff to us that we don't deserve, right? But sometimes we cultivate or nurture an energy that we don't necessarily recognize we're doing or nurturing. Um, Maybe you just betrayed yourself by allowing that to even be an option. Embodiment. It says betrayal is a web that disrupts everything you thought you knew. Use discernment. See what I tell you. Discernment. That's that word. Use discernment in your relationships. Betrayal makes it difficult to trust, but without trust, your relationships are a lie. Trust that no matter what happens and no matter how long it takes, you will survive and thrive. The real question, how have you betrayed or abandoned yourself? Goddess declaration, I am willing to know the truth. So that's a very hard pill to swallow, especially with us being Leos. We have strong pride. It's important to note that pride is not necessarily a bad thing. Pride is can be healthy. It can be strong. It can be weak. It can be a whole lot of things. It all depends on how you nurture it. So Leos are known for having strong pride, and how you nurture it depends on how you embody it. Um, Going forward in the world. So keep that in mind when it comes to acknowledging your shadow self, your shadow sides, and the things that you allow and don't allow. Because remember, we're creating our new sanctuary so that we can feel safe. And in order to do that, we got to speak up. But if we're going to speak up to other people, we have to speak up to ourselves and acknowledge where we allowed ourselves to be betrayed. And that leads us to our last card that came out on the table anyway, was Oshun, Fearless Love. So despite everything that happened, the strength of the Leo allows us to be fearless in our love. We do have big hearts for a reason. We have the biggest hearts of the zodiac for a reason. And Oshun is channeling that. Oshun is connected to the sun, to fire. Oshun is very much connected with Leo energy in a lot of ways. I mean, you've even got the sunflowers right here, and Leos are connected to the sun. You've got the gold, just the gold in itself is just like, hello. I want I want Leos, whether you're male, female, or however you choose to identify, I want you guys to really sit in your essence, sit in your glitter, sit in your gold, in your nectar, in your silk, in your satin, sit in your whatever is that makes you feel silky smooth, powerful, makes you feel good, makes you feel luscious, makes you feel however you need to feel to be where you need to be. I want you to find that and I want you to sit in that and be fearless about it, because despite the betrayal, you still got this fearless love. People are scared to love. You know that? Like, love is a very, everybody wants it, but everybody's terrified of it. And a lot of people, despite wanting it very badly, will do anything to have it. And once they get it, will let it slip through their hands. Do not let it slip through your hands. Do not let other people's betrayal or what you allowed in your past to get in the way of creating your sanctuary and standing, sitting, really, resting in your throne as you should, as the royal being that you are. Fluff your crown, adorn it, adorn your body. Do what you gotta do, but baby, it's time to glow. I know that we're in a retrograde right now, but it's time to glow. Everybody's expecting negative things because it's a retrograde, but it ain't gotta be all that. You can still pull from the shadow and rise and embrace the passion, embrace the flames. It's going to take some time. Be smart about it, use discernment, but it's going to come. Last deck we're going to touch on is going to be, this is a lot longer than I was expecting, by the way. But I'm going to just roll with it, whatever spirit wants. So, last deck we're going to work with is the Romance Angels Oracle cards. Just give me a few spirits so that we know what Leos need to know. What do they need brought to their attention right now? Thank you. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Okay. Oh, it's funny. Okay, now mind you, this is a romance reading, so keep in mind these energies, whether it's just this part or the rest of the reading, these energies could be about you directly, right? Or they could be about your union or your partner, or maybe the both of you. Um, so yeah, so this one, deception, forgiving and learning, right? So that's in the bottom. Codependency, um, very soon, soulmate, you deserve love. Okay, keep an open mind. Okay, that's what's coming up on the bottom. So that's what you didn't see, right? Um, and that's okay. That's funny. These can be about you or your person. So first thing that came out was new love. New love can be a brand new person, a brand new interest. It can be just a new beginning in a current situation or with a current interest. Then we've got, this one came out next, reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So it doesn't necessarily need to be someone from your past, but maybe someone that you were previously involved with in your past, whether it was 10 minutes ago past, yesterday past, 6 months ago past, however long. But there's some level of reconciliation that's coming in with this new beginning in love, whether it's a new person or just a new start to your situation. Worth waiting for. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, this one got two little angels right here. And they sitting there looking a little scary but hopeful, right? And still just innocent. So worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. That speaks for itself. I will say that's one of the beautiful things about this deck is it's very to the point, and there's not a whole lot of interpreting that needs to be had. Um, what came out next was free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So see, again, like where's the one I was looking at? First of all, the chariot, like being in reverse. It's time to take back control. Feeling safe, speak up, betrayal, fearless love. Yes, you're taking back control. Then it said, this one was next. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So if this doesn't feel like you, it could be maybe your partner. If you haven't even spoken to an ex or even thought of an ex or looked their way or reminisced or nothing like that in a while, you're not even tripping off of nobody, then this could be your partner. Very much. They could still be healing from something that happened in the past. They could possibly be in denial about it. Um, and maybe they're finally at a point where they're ready to clear their energy. Maybe they're finally releasing and coming to terms with that. And that could be hard for them, so try and be patient with them and give them their space to heal as they need to because everyone here is human as far as we know anyway, presenting as human. If you believe in other beings and like I do, then hey, touche. But um, you know, allow I will say cultivate the space of release for healing, right? So that changes can be made. Be Do your best to remove your ego from it, however this relates to you, whether it is you directly, right? If it is you directly and you need to release an ex, baby, what are you doing? What is you doing? What I'm not understanding why, as a Leo, you're allowing yourself to still be tied to that, right? Because you reign so heavy, it's a distraction. And if say you're the cross watcher and you're Leo's person and it's you that's embodying this energy, then cross watching is when you watch the sign of somebody who's not you, somebody who you care about, your loved one, right? So you're watching across to their sign. So if you're the cross watcher and this is you, the time has come to clear your energy, as the card says right here. Release your ex. That's what you need to do. There's not much more that needs to be said other than quit playing with Leo because you already know how they roar. You already know not to provoke them and you already know what their bite is like. It's not necessary. Leos just want to chill. Leos just want to sit in their throne and be fearless in their love. We just want to feel safe. We're mighty beings, but we want to feel safe too. So whoever this goes to, whether it's you, Leo, or it's the cross watcher, or Leo's person, it's time. Let it go. It's only holding you back. It's holding the connection back. It's holding the relationship back. You cannot, you can't start something new if you're still attached to the old. You cannot, nothing that's going to last anyway. You cannot build a new foundation with broken bricks. You cannot enter one door with your foot and your toe holding open the door of your past because you want to peek in every now and then because it feels good, it's nostalgic. That's natural, but you have your memories and it's time to take those with you so that you can go fully into the next door and free yourself. Whoever this applies to, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life, right? And maybe that's where this reconciliation is coming in. Who knows? Maybe there's an apology that needs to be had. Maybe someone needs to step up. and say, hey, this is worth more to me than my pride. I'm sorry, let's work this out. It is worth waiting for, though. It is definitely worth waiting for. It's gonna be slow. Well, maybe not slow, slow for everybody, but you definitely have to have patience because it's not gonna come in right away like you wanted to. For some of you, it may have already happened and maybe it just took forever to come in and it's finally here. And for others, maybe it's just not quite here yet, but it's worth waiting for. But man, if this is not the Leo and you're the cross watcher, please don't keep them waiting too long. That's disrespectful. Um, the final card right here was getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So reconciliation worth waiting for, new love, new beginnings in love. It can be a new person, it can be your same person, but new beginnings. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. You get to know each other all over again, because you're not the same people that you were when you first entered this union, this connection, when you first met. Whether you're connected yet or not, you're not the same people. Every day we evolve, and the whole goal is to grow together, right? But sometimes life pulls us back and forth. And if this is the person that you want to spend your life with, let go of that handle to that door that you're trying to keep cracked open. Free yourself, release it, let go of it so that you can fully walk in to your new being, your new self, your new future, and get to know not just yourself, but your other person. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, because you're not just revealing your innermost selves to each other, you're revealing, in doing so, when you get to know somebody, you get to know aspects of yourself that you forgot were there, maybe just didn't know were there. You discover yourself further because you start to see how you relate to this person in response to what they embody and what's important to them. So you get to know yourself even further too. So, whoever needed to hear this message, I hope you got what you needed out of it. If this message was not for you, that's okay. That's totally fine. If it was just bits and pieces, that's cool too. At the bottom of the deck for the romance angels, now mind you, I didn't do bottom of the deck for the others, but bottom of the deck for romance angels was forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Forgive and learn. Back again to getting to know each other. Back again to releasing. As you release and heal the past, release your ex. And release your ex could be a person. Maybe it's the person with the name right here, the Aunt Nancy, whatever. For some of you, it could just be an ex version of you. Because remember how we were talking? Okay, Aunt Nancy, I heard you. Yep, we hear you. Remember how we were talking about, where is it? This one right here with the seven sisters, right? With the different versions of yourself. Release your ex could be a release of an ex version of you for some of you. It may not be for all of you, but it could be an ex version of you, because remember how it was rumored that these are just different versions of the same person? Release it. Clear your energy. Forgiving and learning, deception, codependency, very soon. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. For some of you who needed to hear that, you deserve love. You are lovable. Keep an open mind. I mean, it just healing family issues. Love yourself first. Trust. And some of y'all that said wedding, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right there because that's we like halfway into the rest of the deck now. But yeah, man, I hope y'all are well. I hope my fellow Leos are vibing high regardless, because I know that these energy shifts are heavy. From what I heard, Apparently we're in between eclipses right now. I'm not I'm not an astrologer. I do tarot. I'm intuitive, but I'm not an astrologer. But apparently, we're between eclipses right now, in the middle of eclipse season. And I know that there's a lot of heavy energy right now. Apparently, the moon is in Leo right now, so that's even better. I want y'all to really just hone in on your power, just rein in on our strengths, our essence, our golden aura is just our fire, our inner fire, just really just bask in the sun. If it's warm where you are when you see this, or maybe if it's nighttime the next day, if the sun is out, even if it's not as warm as you want it to be, just get in the sun, recharge, get in the sun, and free yourself. Thank you for watching. This is a lot longer than I expected it to be, but that's what Spirit wanted. So until next time, Ashe.